And hello everyone, thank you for tuning in once again to another video, today to a real-time drawing. This is the second half of drawing in my book number 22, the drawing on the right half of the page, the one that looks kind of like, well, like a little cabin with a bunch of huge smoke billowing out of the top of it. This was kind of both an exercise and an experiment in cross-hatching. Hopefully, in this real-time version of it, you'll be able to get a good feel for how I went about it, because it's kind of hard to explain. Before I talk about this drawing, I just want to say that I don't think I'm going to be able to think up 2 hours worth of stuff to say. So after I'm done saying stuff here in this video, I'll probably just put on some music to take up the rest of the time, which you may or may not enjoy, since it has to be some weird royalty-free music that I find. So if you don't like it, or if you think you'd like listening to something else better, please don't hesitate to mute this video at any time and listen to your own tunes or what have you. But the first thing I did was I used a pencil to kind of outline the cloud of smoke or whatever this was. Still not 100% sure what it is coming out of the chimney of this little building. But I used a pencil and I kind of outlined the smoke and the significant billows and rolls in the smoke as well. It's important to know where these are at the beginning, because the key to making this stuff have any sort of three-dimensional feel is giving the viewer a sense of where the light is coming from and how it's playing across whatever you're drawing. So after I sketch it out with pencil, I grab a pen and start putting some lines down. I'm imagining, in this drawing, that the light is coming from the upper left corner of the page. So the idea is that the upper left side of all these billows should be the lightest areas, as the light is shining directly on them. And then the lower right areas, the parts that curve back underneath and are sheltered from the light by other billows and whatnot, those parts will be darker. And so then I just keep drawing lines. If there's an area that you want darker, you draw more layers of lines there, each layer pointing a different direction. They'll make a cool texture and things will slowly start coming together. You'll see in this video that I was essentially just sitting here drawing parallel lines for 2 hours. It's very calm and therapeutic for me, or something. I don't know what I need therapy for, but I don't know. Apparently I do. The best way to get better at a technique like this, or any technique, of course, is to do it a lot. You might be thinking, but Peter, you're just super talented, and this looks awesome, and how could I ever do this? Well, that's just dumb. Don't say that. Sure, maybe talent is part of it, but there's no way you can attribute everything an artist does to some sort of, skill they were born with that they have no control over, because, I don't know, then you just totally ignore and insult all the hours and hours and hours they spent practicing something. Okay, sure, maybe talent is cool and helpful and can give you a head start off the block or something, but if it's not coupled with determination and hard work, it's still not really going to get you anywhere awesome. Anyways, so what I'm saying is, disregard who has talent, yourself or anyone else, because it just doesn't matter at all. And thinking or worrying about it is just going to distract you in the long run. Just concentrate on working hard on your art, or whatever you love doing, as much as possible. If you're not sure what to do today, think about tomorrow, and what you'll wish you'd done today. I know that sounds a little cliche and sappy, but I think it's pretty good advice. Now, what to say? I guess I could answer some vidmail questions. Let's see what we've got here. Let me find a good question. Here's one. How hard is it for you to scrap a drawing, if you even do scrap drawings? Well, I do scrap drawings. I do. I'm not perfect. It is difficult, especially if I have spent a lot of time on a drawing, and then I do something that just makes the drawing look awful. You know, whether it was just my hand slipping and making a smudge or a stroke across the paper, or a conscious decision I made to draw something that for some reason just ended up looking much worse than I expected. Usually the first thing I do is put the pen down and just clench my fist really tight. And I concentrate on my breathing for a few seconds. I mean, a lot of the time, this stuff happens after I've invested a significant amount of time. Well, I guess that's relative, but at least what feels like a significant amount of time, and also a significant emotional investment. And so I stand back, I get up, I stand back and breathe, and look at it, and try to figure out a way to rescue the drawing. Like, if it's like a drawing that I've almost finished, but I did something stupid to, I just stare at it for a while and brainstorm ways to cover up or work with my mistake. And if I can't figure anything out, or if I'm just still a little upset, maybe I come back the next day to look at it some more. Usually, I figure something out. I mean, I have to, because there's no way I'm drawing this whole thing again. And there's also no way I'm just going to throw it away because, sheesh, this thing is awesome, except for that one part I messed up, right? So I figure something out, and it works, and no one knows that I messed up. And it usually still looks really cool. It's awesome, and I feel victorious, like I overcame an assailant that snuck up and attacked me from behind or something. It's incredible. I don't know. Now, the other scenario, the other thing that could happen is, well, it could just be like one of those drawings that you never really get into the swing of. You never get into the rhythm of it quite right. Like you had good intentions, some great ideas and images flashing through your head. But as you were putting down lines and kept putting down lines, it just wasn't coming together. And you watch slowly in dismay as the drawing just continues to look like a stupid pile of lines instead of a cool drawing. Eventually I just stop and look at it with my brow furrowed, and I heave a big sigh. I realize that I don't think there's any rescuing for a piece like this, you know? There's nothing there on the paper worth rescuing. It's just time to bring in the disaster relief efforts. Usually, if this is a loose piece of paper, I do just ball it up and take a shot at the trash can. But a lot of the time, I'm drawing here in my drawing book, and I can't just ball it up. You know, and I also don't want to cut any of the pages out. Lots of times there's stuff already drawn on the other side, and I don't know. So what I usually do is just cover it up somehow. Sometimes I glue another drawing down on top of it that I've drawn on a loose piece of paper, or I use a big marker and just turn the whole page black until my transgressions are swallowed up in the blackness. You might have noticed a picture on my Instagram where I had a page spread in my book, colored entirely black. And then a really big with white paint pen, I had inscribed across both pages the word persist. That one page spread was one of my cover-ups. It was one of my mistakes, and I covered it up. I don't remember what my intentions were with that one, but before I fixed it, but I can tell you it was going to be incredible. It really was, I promise. But for some reason, it didn't work. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Art is all about mistakes, okay? Art is made by humans, and humans just totally spend all their time making mistakes, like nonstop. So I know it can be difficult, it can be stressful when you mess up, but just breathe. Just breathe and do your best to work with it. Work with the mistakes, and they might even make your art look even more expressive and unique than you intended. There have been many occasions where people have complimented me on my art, or part of one of my drawings where it was something that I never would have added on my own. It was just a mistake or something I added to cover up or work with mistake. Of course, I never tell them that because it's all just art in the end. All right, Let's see if we have another good question. Here we are. How did you develop your artist's signature? I really like the geometrics, but have been struggling to come up with my own. Alright, well, I think a lot of you know what it is already, if you've seen it, or if you've been subscribed to me for very long, but the signature I've been putting on my drawings for the past couple of years, or however long it's been. I'm not good at keeping track of the past, but is just my first name. It's just my first name in Ellian script. Ellian script is not a different language. It's still English. It's just a different alphabet, a different set of symbols for each letter, or what have you. Like, I guess the official name for it would be a cipher, a substitution cipher. Anyways, it's a lot like the Pigpen cipher. If you look that up, it's pretty cool and pretty easy to learn how to read and write. Just Google it if you want to learn more. Ellian script. It's spelled like alien, like, with flying saucers and all, but except with the E at the beginning instead of an A. Now, as for why I chose this particular thing, how I chose this as a way to sign on my drawings, and why I did it, I'm not so sure about. I guess at whatever time it was, I was looking for a new way to sign my drawings. I was deep into my whole Ellian script kick. I was writing a lot of stuff in Ellian script and all my drawings and stuff. I thought this is so cool, and I was just really excited about it and all. And so, I decided to sign my name in Ellian script one time, and it stuck. And I decided to do it that way. I liked it then, and I still like it now. And so that's how I do it. As far as finding your own signature, I'm wary of telling you how to sign your name on your art. That's like a really personal thing. I think I'll just say to do it however you want to. That's what I do. Just try to keep it consistent, I guess. That's one of the main purposes of a signature, to identify your art, to be the main, like that one thing in your art that never changes when everything else might. It's especially important if you ever plan on getting famous one day, you know what I'm saying? Also, you don't have to you don't have to have your signature in Ellian script just because I do. The vast majority of artists they just sign their name, I think. Now, lately in the YouTube comments, it seems like there has been a lot of speculation about this new, I guess, I call them glyphs, but this new language I've been writing in. A lot of people have been asking about it. Some people have been speaking up and trying to be helpful, and some people have been saying, "Oh, it's Ellian script," and it does kind of look like Ellian script. I'll admit it, but it's not Ellian script. It's the one that looks like, I'm talking about the one that looks like a bunch of squares, kind of. Well, I guess it does kind of look like Ellian script, but it's a little bit more complicated. I don't know how to explain it, but it is really a lot more complicated than Ellian script. But it's something I made called Egg Mode. I came up with it myself, and the reason I made it is because I used to write stuff in Ellian script because, everyone always sees my art, but I wanted to be able to write personal things in my drawing books and stuff that could stay personal, even though I knew everyone would be looking at them. But then I told everyone about Ellian script, and people started, learning how to write and read it and stuff. And so then I knew that some people would start being able to read the stuff I had written in my drawing books and whatnot. So I guess then I created this new thing called Egg Mode, and I haven't told anyone how to read it. So anything I write in that is still just personal to me, and I'm not going to tell anyone how to read it. Although I will admit, it's pretty crazy. This thing's Egg Mode has like over 450 different characters, but one person on the internet has messaged me, and they did crack it somehow, and they can read it. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I talked to them. They sent me messages back and forth in egg mode, and we communicated, and it was crazy and awesome and crazy, mostly crazy, because this person even sent me like a picture of like this crazy Excel spreadsheet. It was like how they used to solve it. I was totally, oh man, it was crazy. It's like numbers and I don't know. It's insane. But anyways, if you see some weird glyphs that I've been writing in, it's egg mode. Most likely. Now, alright, let me get to another question. We're making some progress here. Let's look. Okay. This one says, could you make a video about drawing techniques or practice exercises? Well, I'm assuming you're asking the same sort of thing as some of the others on YouTube that are wanting me to make some sort of videos where I would explain things like how to do some shading or cross-hatching in pen, or how to do some stippling or some other techniques or some drawing mechanic like that. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to do that. And I'll tell you why. I don't really want to make a bunch of redundant content on the internet. So far, most of my videos are videos of me drawing things that haven't really been drawn before. Something you've never really seen. At least I hope so. That's what I strive for most of the time. You know what I mean? On the other hand, there are already a bunch of videos out there on YouTube that explain these other things really well. If you just go to the search bar on YouTube and type in like how to do cross-hatching, or how to shade with a pen, or stippling for beginners, or anything you want to learn how to do, there are so many helpful videos already. And even if you don't like the video format for learning things, you just go to Google and your search will widen and yield even more results. There are so many resources out there, most of which are free and easily accessible, that you can utilize to learn these cool techniques like cross-hatching. So I'm just saying, I feel like there's no point in me making videos about how to do these things when so many other people already have. You feel me? Yeah, but really, like I've said before, the key is, once you understand the basics of how a thing like cross-hatching works, which is really simple, the secret is to just, it's not a secret really, but the key is to just do it a lot. Do it a lot. Practice makes proficient. Yes, practice makes proficient. Okay? Alright, let's see here. Another question. Where does your mind go while you draw? Whew. Wow. I don't know, that is a good question. I feel like I want to ask someone else that. Like a psychiatrist or something. I think it does the same thing it normally does, but with fewer distractions, maybe. The activity of drawing in some way completely uses some part of my brain and leaves other parts totally available and untethered, it seems. Kind of like how people say sometimes they're able to pay attention to what they're listening to better, like in class, when they're doodling or drawing, because the part of their mind that would normally be daydreaming and distracting them is occupied with drawing. Or something. I don't know. Every time I start talking about this or thinking about it, I get these other thoughts, and I'm like, this might not make any sense. I feel like all this and the human brain and consciousness in general is just way too unfathomably complex and elaborate for me to figure out by just absent-mindedly thinking about stuff while I draw. So, I don't know. I guess I'll just keep drawing and keep thinking about whatever it is that I think about when I draw, because for the life of me, I really have no idea what it is, but it seems to work. But yeah, I think that's about all I'm gonna say in this video. as far as these VidMail questions, um, keep submitting them if you want to. They've been really good, and thank you for that. I've been answering a bunch of them just in my normal video commentaries, without actually saying that I have been, but I have been. So they've been really helpful to help me to come up with things to talk about. But I think right now I'm going to put on some music, but feel free to listen to your own stuff if you want to. But yeah, thanks for watching. This video is going to keep going for a while longer, and just feel free to watch for as long as you want. Thanks. Bye. you.